Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment. 32 teams, 32 days, more like 35. And today we're talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as we end the 32 teams and 32 days series tonight on Sports Fan Entertainment, and get started by talking about the 2018 NFL season for real. So we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and yeesh, I'm going to just start out by being honest, this is not a team I'm very excited for the upcoming 2018 NFL season, mainly because of the suspension of Jameis Winston that we'll talk about later on in this video. We're going to discuss this team's strengths, discuss this team's weaknesses, give you my statistical projections for some offensive players, give you my bold predictions for this football team, and then end this video with my official win-loss prediction for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So let's start by talking about their strengths, and it's not all bad in Tampa Bay. In fact, there is a good amount of good in Tampa Bay. And let's start with their defensive line, which should be a damn good defensive line this upcoming season. Let's start with Gerald McCoy, who's been the consistent weapon for this Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive line over the majority of the past decade. He has been their mainstay. He has been their guy ever since they drafted him in 2010. Thank God for him. We didn't know what this defensive line would have looked like over the past number of seasons. We also have Vinny Curry, the former Philadelphia Eagle. He's going to come in, and he's going to be back in a 4-3 defense. We're going to see what he can do in this position for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I like that addition. They also acquired Jason Pierre-Paul of the New York Giants. Now, he's not the same JPP he once was when he had all of his fingers, but he's still actually a pretty damn good football player at this point. Again, not great anymore, but still good. I like that position there. That's definitely an upgrade. And Bo Allen as well. This makes for a nice, solid quadruple tandem at the defensive line position for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and one that I like. So I like the defensive line in Tampa Bay. The next strength for me for this football team would actually be the wide receivers. Okay, first of all, we have Mike Evans, who 4 seasons in the league, every single season over 1,000 receiving yards, even last season, despite the turmoil at the quarterback position. So I like the consistency there for Mike Evans. You also have Deshaun Jackson, who, look, he's not what he once was. You can see the regression in Deshaun Jackson, but he's still a decent weapon to have. And then they also have Chris Godwin, who I really expect to be the number 2 wide receiver for this team this upcoming season. Had a good rookie year for a second-round draft pick. I think it was actually second or third last year. Had about 500 receiving yards. Now expecting him to jump up to 700-800, continue to improve. Maybe next year be a 1,000-yard plus wide receiver. Maybe even this year if he makes a huge step forward. So like the progression there, like the top 3. And Adam Humphries, who we've seen be a number 3 for this team before. Now he's a definitive number 4, and I think a good number 4, a true number 4 option for any offense, especially when you have 2 good tight ends, which we're going to discuss in a moment. That is the next strength for this football team. There is actually 3 strengths for me. It is the tight end position, as you have Cameron Brate, who again led the tight ends last year. I thought O.J. Howard might challenge him. He didn't challenge him quite nearly enough, so Brate still held it down at the tight end position as tight end number 1. Had a good season last season, 2 good seasons in a row, like Cameron Brate. And then behind him, O.J. Howard, who was one of my favorite prospects in that 2017 NFL draft, expecting him to take another step forward. And he had a good year. You know, it wasn't a very prolific year, but whenever he was targeted, he normally caught the ball over 50% catch rate. So I like seeing that from the tight end position, and a lot of yards per catch as well. So we got a lot out of it. So I'll get blocking from him. I expect another step forward from O.J. Howard. So 3 legitimate good strengths for this football team. What are the weaknesses, though? Let's start with the running back position, where, you know, it's just not very good right now. Now, Peyton Barber. Look, he's been all right. The question is, what is his upside? What's exciting about this guy? We don't know. You know, he has actually put forward decent numbers. He's put forward numbers that could suggest he could be a decent running back in the NFL, like over 4 yards a carry, decent amount of touchdowns last season per, you know, per rusher that you would have. So you like what you see there, but you just don't love it. You're not really excited about it. What's the really exciting about Peyton Barber? You know, they're just not really anything, and that's why you drafted Ronald Jones in the 2nd round of the draft. Now the problem is, he hasn't been very good, right? They've been looking for him to stand out in training camp, looking for him to stand out in the preseason. He's done nothing in the preseason. He's been one of the most underwhelming rookie running backs in the preseason in 2018. So there's nothing exciting about that. And when you look at that, that's it, because Jaquiz Rodgers, we're so sick and tired, at least I am, of hearing and talking about Jaquiz damn Rodgers. So the running back position right now is not good in Tampa Bay. It does not give me confidence at all. Okay, so I did not like the situation right there. We also look at the cornerbacks for me. I'm not a fan of the cornerbacks right now. No, it's led by Brent Grimes. And he's been good. But the problem is, how long can we continue to rely on Brent Grimes to be our #1 corner? That's a dangerous game that we're playing. Again, he's been a good #1 over the past number of seasons, but man, you're really starting to push it now, because he's well over 30 years old at this point, and he's going to start coming down soon. Vernon Hargreaves, and I said it when they drafted him, I thought he was an overrated prospect. I think we're seeing that in the NFL. He hasn't been the guy they're expecting him to be. He hasn't been that #1 corner, and if he would, he's not even a really good #2. If he was, you were talking about a much better Tampa Bay Buccaneers team for me over the past couple seasons, especially last season. So, not a fan right now of Vernon Hargreaves. Now, the thing is, with a better pass rusher, we will see that this upcoming season, perhaps, things will be better. We had talked about the defensive line before, and I didn't even mention Noah Spence, who should be better this year. He packed on weight, and now he's going to be a rotational pass rusher. Not going to ask too much of him anymore. So, there is encouraging things here, and Ryan Smith maybe is going to develop, and we drafted MJ Stewart in the 2nd round, but do we really want to rely on a rookie? No. So we have a young Hargreaves who has been very good, a Ryan Smith who was only okay last year at best, and MJ Stewart, a rookie, and then the older Brent Grimes. That does not elicit a lot of confidence out of me. And then also the safety position, right now I don't really love it either. Justin Evans out of Texas A&M, look, he was okay, and I'm actually encouraged by him. I think he can take a step forward, but Chris Conte next to him, I'm tired of Chris Conte at this point. There's nothing dynamic or really scary at the safety position right now, other than the presumed progression of Justin Evans, which again, I could see happening, but although I liked him last year, I didn't quite see, okay, this guy's going to be a big-time safety anytime soon. So don't like the safeties either. So 3 strengths, 3 weaknesses. So the positions I did not discuss, and now let's discuss the quarterback, Jameis Winston. Look, I'm a Jameis Winston fan, and I think he's going to continue to be a starting quarterback in this league for years to come. It may not be for this team, though. It would not shock me at all if the Bucs literally trade Jameis Winston, and this is a conversation we don't have. Okay, in this league, we do not discuss quarterbacks being traded. I think this is a conversation that could be had this season. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers could trade Jameis Winston either in this season or the season after this, in the offseason, or in the 2019 season. I think a trade could be coming here, because although he definitely puts up production that says starting quarterback, they're just getting sick of him. They don't think he's a leader. And look, I've defended Winston ever since he was drafted, but Jesus Christ, the fact that he was actually guilty, and for all intents and purposes, he's apologized for that. He is, honestly. He hasn't been tried or anything, so I don't want to do due process on sports fan entertainment, but Jesus Christ, he was guilty. So Jesus, for him to have, done the Uber situation, I mean, Jesus, man, you got to grow up. So now I'm concerned about Jameis Winston, and look, his leadership method, I thought it was going to translate well. It hasn't. So I have my concerns about him in terms of being a leader, but he can play. He can play. So it's a very interesting situation. He's better than Jay Cutler ever was, for example. Jay Cutler skated around the league for like a decade, starting games, because he was good enough, right? Just barely good. He's better than Jay Cutler. So this is one of the most fascinating quarterback studies I've ever seen. It's like if Eli Manning, because I think his production is very similar to Eli Manning, maybe even better. Maybe like an adjusted Eli Manning in terms of, move forward a bit, how many years, like probably 14 years from 2004 Eli Manning to now. Or let's say 2008 Eli Manning, so 10 years. He's about that level, adjusted because, quarterbacks now are playing better than they were 10 years ago. It's like that, but with poor intangibles. So it's tough. You got to stick with it because he's good enough. He's going to be starting in this league, but the question is, will it be for you? I don't know. And Ryan Fitzpatrick, come on. We know what he is. He's not good. All right, now. Okay, so with that said, let's move on to my statistical projections for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And let's start with quarterback Jameis Winston. And I think he's going to have another okay year where you say, look, he's a starting quarterback. You see the throws that he can make. You can see the plays that he makes consistently. He's going to put together another, decent quarterback stat line, but just not quite good enough to get you all in on him. So how about 3,300 passing yards, 18 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 87.0 pass rating. Again, he is suspended for the first 3 games of the season, so we have to deflate the numbers a bit. This is about what he got to last year. 1 less touchdown, 1 more interception. Because I think there could be a little turmoil. We'll see. But he also could do infinite. He could also do a little better as well. So we'll see. Running back Peyton Barber, 170 carries, 675 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Look, this is decent. But I think even though Ronald Jones has pretty much stuck in the preseason. They're going to want to get him involved, so that's why I had to limit the carries for Peyton Barber and the wide receiver Mark Evans. 80 catches, 1150 yards, and 7 touchdowns. So I think he's going to have a good year. I think he's going to have a better year than he had last year, one of his better years in his NFL career. So there is good news here for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Okay, so bold predictions. Okay, let's just get into it. The Bucs start 0-5. Okay, I got an 0-5 start for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So we already have the first 3 games with Ryan Fitzpatrick, which again, you can win games with Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's not the problem. The problem is playoff team from the 2017-18 NFL season as you go to New Orleans. Okay, who was a playoff team last season. You host the Eagles, Super Bowl champion Eagles, and yes, it'll be Nick Foles, but they won the Super Bowl with Nick Foles. And then you host the Pittsburgh Steelers. Those were 3 of the best teams in the league last year. And I know this is a new year, but no one's really expecting massive drop-offs for any of these teams. I mean, I'm expecting drop-offs for the Saints and the Eagles. Not really for the Steelers, but even the drop-offs I'm still expecting all these teams to compete, if not be in the playoffs, so that hurts. You get Winston back. But you're traveling to Chicago. I think Chicago's dangerous. Travel to Atlanta. Atlanta's dangerous. That's an 0-5 start, ladies and gentlemen, for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're going to be talking about them being number 1 or number 2 in 2018 NFL or 2019 NFL mock drafts. It's going to get ugly. But then Winston will come back and you guys will start to get things going, so don't worry too much about that, but I'd worry a bit. Okay, O.J. Howard breaks 700 yards. I think he's going to have a very good season, so look out for O.J. Howard. And then bold prediction number 3, Jason Light and Dirk Cutter get fired after the season. Look, this is a crossroads for this franchise. It's an impasse that they have to get over. They have to figure some things out. And I don't think they're going to recover from this 0-5 start tremendously. They're going to recover a bit. I'm the finishing 4-12, but I look at that 0-5 start and I just don't see any other way. I mean, I just don't see any other way. They're gonna start at least 1-4, man. I mean, that's at best when I look at the schedule. That's gonna make them lose all motivation. Jameis Winston in his speeches, they look like they're getting old in the locker room. It looks like he's overstaying his welcome. They're at a crossroads, and you guys know I was huge on Jameis Winston. It's not working out, and it's not because he can't play. He can actually play, but man, the intangibles that I thought were there, Jesus, they're just not. It's at an impasse. They got some things to figure out. I think they're gonna stick with him because he's better than like a Blake Bortles. He's better than Bortles. He's better than Flacco. He's better. But the problem is they need a head coach and come in here and coach him. Okay, and Cutter's not that. Cutter doesn't have the personality for that. And neither is Jason Light. So they're going to fire these guys, bring 2 other new guys in, and hopefully they can save Jameis Winston because he's too talented to be an NFL bust in this league. He's just way too damn talented for that. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And by the way, best case scenario, look, I'll say they could go 7-9. I mean, but I still see a 1-4 start, and then maybe Jameis Winston can finally have that breakout year. But even then, they'd be lucky to go at 6-7 from that point, just being demoralized from the horrible start that they had. It would just be ridiculous. With that 6-7, like with Jameis Winston, and that 7 would be 2 more losses as they go to Chicago and Atlanta. So that's just not a very good situation. And the worst case scenario could be 2-14. It could really be 2-14. So I don't know. I'm not excited. If Bucs fans are excited, congratulations to you. I just don't see it. So there goes my thoughts on the 2018-19 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What are your thoughts? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. I'll be back next time to discuss the Miami Dolphins. What will I have to say about them? Not good things either. This has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment. I'm out. See you all later.